Okay, we're in Revelation 18, and we're talking about Babylon the Great, the harlot, which is the United States of America, and a description of her and her destruction. Says, we read in verse 4, to get out of her, and in verse 8 of Revelation 18, therefore her plagues will come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she will be utterly burned with fire. Again, we see this fire, that it talks about fire a lot in the Old Testament and New Testament. For strong is Yahweh Elohim who judges her. The world mourns Babylon's fall. Yeah, the world is going to be sad when Babylon falls at first, because even though Yahweh is going to use some countries of the world to attack her and destroy her, I'm going to show you who they are later. It shows in the Bible which nations are going to be used by Yahweh to destroy Babylon. But the world is going to be sad because the world becomes rich, does business with the United States of America more than, if the Catholic Church or the Vatican were destroyed, the world wouldn't mourn like that, not to the point where, it hurts because it's going to affect their pocketbook. But that's what makes people really sad, is when it affects their wallet and affects their money. And people are going to be very sad because the U.S., it's going to destroy, as the economies are being destroyed now, it's going to be even more, the economies of the world are going to be more destroyed, and there's going to be a greater depression. And that's going to open the way for the beast, the son of perdition, the Antichrist, if you want to call him that, to impose his system and impose his mark, his 666, as you've heard of, and that's in Revelation 13. You should read that. And he's going to make you, and it says that everyone's going to take it. He's going to make you take this mark, this something, in your right hand or your forehead, and you're going to need it to buy or to sell. You won't be able to buy or sell, basically to live in this system the way it is, without it. And it's some type of, a lot of people think it's the chip, this RFID chip that goes into it can be injected under your skin, and then it can be scanned almost the way you scan your credit card or your debit card. But the thing is that it seems that it's hooked up with the GPS, the global positioning system, so they could actually know where you are. This technology is being used in the current passports of the United States and in a lot of other things too. So it says that just about everybody's going to take it. If I didn't read the Bible, if I didn't know what it said in the Bible, I think I would take it, because I would say, I'm not saying take it. Absolutely don't take it. If you take the mark of the beast, you will not be in Yahweh's kingdom at all. There's no way you can be in Yahweh's kingdom if you take the mark of the beast. You have to resist it under penalty of death. You would rather die at the hands of all of these terrible people on earth who are going to be living at that time than taking the mark of the beast. You can't take it. Don't take the mark of the beast no matter what you do. It disqualifies you from Yahweh's kingdom automatically. There's no excuses. You can't say, yeah, but I wanted to feed my kids. No, absolutely not. Taking the mark of the beast is worshiping the beast. You can say, well, I'll take the mark so I can feed my kids, but I won't worship the beast. No, you can't do it. Read Daniel, and you'll see in Daniel, they went through the same thing. This is a test of your faith. And we might be beheaded for it, martyred, killed. But at that time, people are going to be getting killed and murdered for all different reasons. Absolutely, you should live. Try to live. Live for Yahweh as much as you can. Try not to die as much as you can. The Bible Yahweh hates death. Death is the enemy. Death will be destroyed in the end, and there will be no more death when Yeshua, when Yahweh's kingdom is established. But this mark of the beast is coming. We already have the technology for it. We don't know what it's going to be exactly. A lot of people are absolutely positive and sure that it's the chip. I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly. It could be that. That makes sense. But it's going to be something that you need to buy and to sell. Don't take it, though. Food is the easiest thing for Yahweh to give you, if that's what you need. Food. A shirt, clothing, a pair of pants, shoes, something, protection from the sun, a house, or a roof over your head. That's the easiest thing for him to give you. Don't take the mark for that. And it's only going to be for 3.5 years. Only. It's going to be 3.5 years that are very hard and difficult, 42 months. But you can make it. We can make it. He'll help us through. And when you don't take that mark, and now you can't work and you can't buy and sell, he will get you food. He won't let you die of hunger. And if you had to die of hunger, you'll be in his kingdom after that. But don't take the mark of the beast, because that shows that you're worshiping the beast and you're accepting his system. It says in verse 8 again, therefore her plagues will come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she will be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahweh Elohim, who judges her. The world mourns Babylon's fall. Verse 9, the kings of the earth who committed fornication and lived luxuriously with her will weep and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning. Verse 10, standing at a distance for fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. So it sounds like the attack and this destruction is going to happen quickly. Some people say here, because it says the city, that it could be talking about New York City. It could be specifically talking about New York City at first, and then the United States as a country altogether destroyed. Verse 11, and the merchants of the earth. Who's going to weep? The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her, for no one buys their merchandise anymore. Right, because the United States was the main purchaser, buyer of their merchandise. Now the United States and all her people are not going to exist anymore, because in the previous, we saw before, that everything, animals, humans, everything will be destroyed there. So who's going to buy their merchandise? Nobody, and they're very sad, and that's why they're crying from afar. Verse 12. Merchandise, now it's going to describe what type of merchandise that the United States would buy and had within the United States. It would buy it from and import it from all these other places. See if you think if some of these things sound familiar that we have in the United States. Merchandise of gold and silvers, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple silk, scarlet, every kind of citron wood, every kind of object of ivory, every kind of object of most precious wood, bronze, iron, marble, cinnamon, incense, fragrant oil and frankincense, wine and oil, fine flour, wheat, cattle, sheep, horses, and chariots. Maybe that could be cars, bodies and souls of men. The fruit that your soul longed for has, this is verse 14, has gone from you, and all the things which are rich and splendid have gone from you, and you shall find them no more at all. Verse 15, the merchants of these things who became rich by her will stand at a distance for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour such great riches came to nothing. Every shipmaster, all who traveled by ships, sailors, and as many as trade on the sea, stood at a distance and cried out when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what is like this great city? They threw dust on their heads. That was a sign of mourning in the Old Testament times. They threw dust on their heads and cried out, weeping and wailing and saying, alas, alas, that great city, in which all who had ships on the sea became rich by her wealth. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Rejoice over her, O heaven, and you holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh has avenged you on her. Finality of, and then it says in verse, I'm going to leave the next verse 21 till the end for the next message.